You know, the guy who I originally thought you were going to say, I mean, this is a little off topic, but Alonso, I mean, I think Alonso would get a lot more praise in the city if it wasn't for Aaron Judge because the
Correct.
two are
Yeah.
so comparable. Um, but no, I'm trying to think. A Rod had a lot of garbage home runs over his time, but the guy did hit a lot of big ones as well too. So I can't really compare it to that.
But you even think of Aaron Judge, like Aaron Judge had a streak this last week where he hit seven home
All
run. He hit
huge,
he had a
yeah,
home run in seven straight games, and then the eighth game where he didn't hit one, he hit like two line drives off the
yeah.
top of the wall. And while he was doing that, Pete had a streak of four straight games with a home run. So you talk about like the two are always going to be compared, and it's always obviously Judge is the better ball player. There's no disputing that. But it's like
Well, yeah,
Pete lives in the Aaron Judge shadow to some degree in New York City.
and you can tell that bothers him. He
I
wants to outperform Judge.
He
Better,
does. He does, and I think Pete uses that though to
yes,
make him play better.
yes, I
And because
agree.
Pete wants to be the face of New York baseball, the New York
Hmm.
Mets, and all that stuff, but he doesn't use it in a negative way where Pete comes off as like an asshole or any way. He just is very passionate
Right.
about the Mets and he tries his hardest to get better every single time. Like Pete is
It,
somebody that you can look at, and Pete has consistently gotten better every single year, offensively, defensively, and he tries to be the face of that. And he's just living in an impossible shadow, but Pete Alonso really deserves more love, I think, than he actually gets
I
because
agree.
of Aaron Judge doing that. But Pete is phenomenal and an absolute stud.
Well, I mean, look at it, right? I think Judge. It's not like he lives rent free in Alonso's mind. I think Pete sees what Aaron does, and that motivates him, like you said, to try to top it. I mean, look, Judge sets the rookie home run record. What does Alonso do? He comes out, he breaks that record. Now,
Yeah.
Judge hit 62 last year. Alonso's been on the record. He wants to beat that. What's Alonso doing so far this year? He's hitting 17 home runs. He's first in the National League in home runs right now. So, hey,
Like
does
the other thing too with Alonso, and just another like couple of quick things on this. Pete led the league in home runs last no, not home runs last year, but Pete had 40 home runs last year and led the league in RBIs, drove in over 120. And I think it's realistic at the end of this season that Pete hits two major milestones. And I've been thinking about this for a while, and I don't know why I haven't said it on air, and I still think it's early enough in the season to kind of like put this out there in the universe to be like I was on it first. But let me kind of like talk you through this. I'm just trying to pull up Pete's stats to make it easier on myself, not to go from the top of my head. So Pete has 163 career home runs right now. He has hit
163?
163. He has hit 17 home runs this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is possible that Pete Alonso hits his 200th home run this season.
So you'd be putting him running, giving Aaron Judge a run for his money.
So let's do some math for our listeners at home. 200 minus 163. He needs to hit 37 more home runs. He is at 17. That would put him at 54.
Right.
So Pete Alonso hitting 54 home runs.
Yeah,
The
I think he
sec
could do that.
the second part of that is that he's currently at 421 career RBIs. I think he hits 200 home runs this year, and I think he hits 500 RBIs this year.
You know why I think he can do that? It's a huge thing. He stays healthy.
If he All he has to do, I don't want to say all he has to do, but if Pete Alonso drives in 120 this year, he's going to hit 500 RBIs. If he hits 54 home runs, he hits his 200th home run.
Yeah.
I don't think saying 54 is a crazy number for the guy already at 17
No.
at the end of May.
Yeah, no, I don't think so at all. I think he can do that. I think he's gonna get I do think he's gonna get close to Judge's record from last year. I don't think he's gonna beat it just because it's a very hard record to beat. Um, you know, Judge he had a few breaks here and there and he's played healthy all last season. Now, like I said, Alonso, hey, credit to him for as good of a hitter as he is, for the power he is, and the leader he is. And you love, when Marte hits that go-ahead home run over the weekend. You
Huge
know,
homer.
Alonso's out. He's shaking the fence. He looks like a fan out there. You know,
Yeah.
he's going absolutely nuts. You love to see that. So Alonso, I mean, he gets overshadowed a lot by Judge, and Aaron Judge is the better ball player. I think we both can agree on that. But
100%.
Alonso, he's nothing to shake a stick at. It's not like we're comparing Jose Reyes and Derek Jeter.
Hmm.
That was a completely different thing. Alonzo Judge, it doesn't get the same traction as a Reyes versus Jeter got back in the day, or an A-Rod David Wright got back in the day, but it should. This is the real comparison.
Yeah.
These two are neck and neck. This is some of the best, New York baseball just rivalry of these two guys. This is must watch television every night, watching the two of them, and it doesn't get the play that it should. I don't know why that is.